Hi there, I'm Chad Inglis. I'm Managing Content Design Lead for Stellaris.
Can you just speak a little bit to what was your priority in approaching this late game chapter in Stellaris?
So for us, this began several years ago with game director Stephen Murray. It's sort of his brainchild to consider how can we take something that's a very, very beloved system in the Ascensions to say, okay, how can we expand that? How can we make that deeper, more engaging? And for us as a team and as a design challenge, that was really exciting to think about, okay, well, what do these things mean? Like I've chosen to become a cybernetic version of humanity. Surely there must be some repercussions for us as a society, right? And in my case, my background is in narrative design. These days I'm doing lots of different things alongside my content design team. But as a narrative designer first, that's really exciting. And when it came time to reach it with Shadows of the Shroud, it was just so juicy to be like, okay, we're becoming psionic, we're realizing that we have this latent power. What does that mean for us as a people? What kind of choices can we make here?
The Shadow of the Shroud isn't just a clever name. And for those who don't know much about it, can you explain the Shroud and its role in the story?
Sure, so the Shroud is a realm of pure psionic potential, I guess. It's not the kind of thing that we ever really want to nail down or define and be like, point to. As soon as you point to it, that's not the Shroud. As soon as you try to name it, that's not the Shroud. You can perceive it on the edge of things, and especially as you're engaging in psionic ascension, you can start to perceive it in ways that are really, really tangible in this DLC, and that's something we wanted to make that was important for us to give to the players and to the fans. It's like this tangibility of the Shroud without taking away the mystery. And that was a really interesting design challenge. The solution that the team came up with is what we call the Shroud Wheel, which is the new UI for this DLC. And it sort of allows us to graph our relationship as a player empire towards the Shroud and towards the entities inside of the Shroud. How do we feel about them? How do they feel about us? And what kind of bonuses might be unlocked by being more attuned with one or the other?
And that led to a look that we got at one of the enclaves that you were talking about. The Mind Wardens, yeah. They're proud of their psionics, they love their psionics, but they don't want to be affected by the outside. Can you go more into detail about them?
So the Mind Wardens are the quintessential tinfoil hat paranoid people. There's they really, really don't want psionics to interfere with their society at all. And so actually they're blocked from psionic ascension. They're not going to be able to engage with that. But what they can do is provide protection to other empires in the galaxy from the influence of psionic power, which in Shadows of the Shroud is going to be expressed along the hyperlane network through what we call psionic auras.
And for players that want to continue along their favorite race, their favorite style of gameplay in Stellaris, what will Shadow of the Shroud have for them?
So we have got lots of exciting content that are not necessarily related to psionics or to psionic ascension. One of my favorite things is the civic, which is called experimental sentencing. This is quite dark. We like to get dark as Stellaris devs. This one, it actually rewards you for having crime in your society in the sense that now you have test subjects for your experimentation. So if you are looking for a science-forward build, you would like to focus on a specific area of scientific inquiry, physics, biology, society, or engineering, you're going to be able to use these test subjects to advance your aims that way.
And another thing you showed me was a new origin, the Endbringers, which is an intense route through the game. How did you guys decide how you're going to build that origin as far as its difficulty, its concept, and how it progresses through the campaign?
That's such a good question. So we knew when we undertook to make a psionic themed DLC that we were going to have to engage with the legacy content that already existed, and in particular, in this case, the end of the cycle. So this is an incredibly powerful Shroud entity. I think it's safe to say malevolent Shroud entity. And when we undertook the design of the origin, we wanted to give the player the ability to be that's the one that I want to get into. I want to have like a guaranteed entry point to interacting with the end of the cycle. And so this is the way that we can do that. These people are paranoid, but they have a right to be paranoid. These people are intricately connected. Their history is intricately connected with the Shroud and with the end of the cycle in particular. They're going to try to essentially bring about the end times. Like, these are the guys who are on the street corner with a placard being like, the end is near, except on a galactic scale. And that's the fantasy we wanted to represent.
And as you come into such a late level of Stellaris, like, and what you guys have done over the course of years at this point, like, what is left for Stellaris?
So much. In fact, my team back in Stockholm is like incredibly busy right now. They're working super hard. First of all, they're working super hard on post-release support for Shadows of the Shroud, but we are cooking, and there's some really, really interesting things in the pipeline. Obviously, I can't get into that, but we have announced in Season 9, we have the Infernal Species Pack, which is going to be coming later this year. Infernals is quite a different theme. So we wanted to give the Molten Worlds a little love. We wanted to get it like sort of get it hot, get it spicy. And these are like species that love the heat, that are well adapted to that environment. There's going to be some interesting content to be coming in that one as well.
It sounds like fans have a lot to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely. I hope so.
As a Stellaris dev, what does a Stellaris dev play when they're not playing or working on Stellaris?
CK, Europa Universalis, Hoi. We've got a lot of love for just grand strategy as a genre, but we also have, in particular on the Stellaris team, we have just like really, really passionate science fiction fans. So in my case, one of my favorite games is Horizon Zero Dawn. I just love like the idea that it's like, robot dinosaurs, cool, sign me up for that. I'd like to do some hunting. But it's basically like, for me, just anything that is like allowing me to live that kind of like sci-fi fantasy in different ways, I'm really into. And that's one of the reasons why it's so exciting to work on Stellaris, because we get to do whatever we want within reason, but pretty much anything that's inside of science fiction belongs in Stellaris, and that's why we're excited about it.
I have to ask this as a follow-up. Stellaris itself is no stranger to automatons and robots in its universe. When will robot dinosaurs discover space travel in Stellaris?
This is such an excellent question, and maybe they already have? I mean, like, don't we have sort of like dinosaur-looking portraits already? And with Machine Age, you could do cybernetic enhancement. There's got to be this already. The game is so huge, and even like for me, working on it day in, day out, content is my passion. Providing content in the game is my passion. But like, it's a question like that now I want to go back and play that. Like, I want to be like, wait a minute, hold on, can I do that? Probably yes.
Nice.